the real fun is going to start now. Before that, it was all easy. Even now, it is going to be easy, but it's going to be a little more. So get ready to make your faces. Your mask laga lein, achha hai. Yeah? No one will be able to see. Yeah. Question number 21, multiple choice questions. Okay. Now, by chance, if you don't understand anything at all in multiple choice and you want to guess, so what do you want to guess? All A's, all B's, all C's. How many of you want to guess all A's? Raise your hands. All B's, all C's. Okay. Now, those who are guessing all B's, they will get 3 correct answers. Those who are getting all A's, they will get 1 correct answer. And those who are getting all B's, they will get 2 correct answers. Okay, so it should be B or C, at least out of 6, 2 correct answers you will. In case you don't understand anything at all, pura don't understand, okay, then. Now, multiple choice questions. Multiple choice questions have 2 parts. Part 1 question, part 2 options. There are 3 options, 1 question. Read the question carefully. Go through the options, and by the way, when they give you half minute to read questions 21 to 26, you just have to actually skim read the questions. One is skim reading. Skim read means you're not going to read each and everything. You're going to read it quickly, underlining important words. I tell you what are the important words. Question number 21. Antarctic Center was established in Christchurch because Christchurch is location in New Zealand. So, Antarctic Center was established in Christchurch because it means the reason why Antarctic Center was established in Christchurch. What's the reason? Okay? Are you still cold? No, you're fine? All right, actually heating is on, so still you need that. Kambal shambal la dein aapko aur? Haan? Okay. So guys, let's see. Christchurch is the location and Antarctic Center is a center. Antarctic Center was established in Christchurch because. Now, why was Antarctic Center established in Christchurch? Option A. See there, it's a long option. New Zealand is a member of the Atlantic Treaty. Underline member of Antarctic Treaty. Member of Antarctic Treaty. Mainly you will focus the word member. Option B. Christchurch is geographically well positioned. So underline geographically well positioned. And by the way, Christchurch is understood. We know they are talking about it. So geographically well positioned. Option C. Climate of Christchurch is suitable. Just underline suitable climate. Understand? See that long option? And we cut that short, suitable climate. Now I play the audio. Now listen, they will talk about all 3 options in any order. I'm using the word any order. Questions are in order, but these 3 options are not in order. They might start from option C, then they come to option B, then they come to option A. 2 options will be discussed negatively or oppositely. And sometimes they don't even mention one of the options, which is not the right answer. Sometimes they ignore one of the options as well. Now listen carefully. Don't go for the words. Go for ideas. Question is, Antarctic Center was established in Christchurch. Why? Option A, member of Antarctic Treaty. Option B, geographically well positioned. Option C, climate suitable or suitable climate. Okay? Now please listen.
Section 3. You will hear a seminar with Dr. Martin Merriweather of the Antarctic Centre in Christchurch, New Zealand. We're pleased to welcome Dr. Martin Merriweather of the Antarctic Centre in Christchurch, New Zealand, who has come along to talk to us today about the role of the centre and the Antarctic Treaty. Now, my first question is about the choice of location for the centre. Why Christchurch? Was it because of the climate?
Well, actually, New Zealand is the second closest country to Antarctica, and Christchurch is often used on Antarctic expeditions.
Right, so it's because of where we are, coupled with our historical role.
It's because of where we are. That means geographically positioned, well positioned. That's because of where we are. Now listen, the right answer is option B. And the order in which they spoke, that is C-A-B. Write it down. C-A-B. Okay, I'm playing this audio once again. C-A-B.
Section 3. You will hear a seminar with Dr. Martin Merriweather of the Antarctic Centre in Christchurch, New Zealand. We're pleased to welcome Dr. Martin Merriweather of the Antarctic Centre in Christchurch, New Zealand, who has come along to talk to us today about the role of the centre and the Antarctic Treaty. Now, my first question is about the choice of location for the centre. Why Christchurch? Was it because of the climate?
Well, actually, New Zealand is...
Was it because of the climate? Now remember, in multiple choice, whenever they speak about an option in the question, and either they answer negatively or they don't answer, that is not the answer. So option C, was it because of the weather? It was a question, right? So C should be crossed. Once you cross C, you are left with two options. One of them is the right one. Now they will come to option A.
the second closest country to Antarctica.
Second closest country to Antarctica. But they did not talk about Antarctic Treaty and member. They only said second closest country. So option A is also wrong. Clear? Good. I mean, in multiple choice, the game is not what is the right option. The game is what is the wrong option. Instead of looking for the right option, you look for the wrong option, cross them, and then you will find the right option, okay?
And Christchurch is often used on Antarctic expeditions.
Right, so it's because of where we are, coupled with our historical role.
Where we are coupled with our historical role. So geographically well positioned. Where we are, okay? Let's go on. Question number 22. One role of Antarctic Centre is to. Now, what is one of their roles? One role of Antarctic Centre is to. Option A, provide expeditions with suitable equipment. Just underline suitable equipment. And by the way, for equipment, they might use the word ropes, ladder, shoes, and all that. Okay? Next, provide researchers with financial assistance. Just underline financial assistance. Now, have you noticed expeditions and researchers, they are almost the same thing. So, in option A, suitable equipment. In option B, financial assistance. Financial assistance means they give them money to do that. And option C, ensure that research is internationally relevant. Ensure research internationally relevant. Okay, now I play the audio. Listen and answer.
So tell us, what is the main purpose of the centre?
Oh, well, we have two complementary roles. One is as a scientific base for expeditions and research, and the other is as an information centre.
Tell us something about the role as a scientific base.
Well, we're able to provide information about what scientists should take with them to the South Pole. For example, the centre contains a clothing warehouse where expeditions are supplied with suitable clothing for the extreme conditions.
I suppose you need a bit more than your normal winter coat.
Yes, exactly. And then there's also the specialist library and mapping services.
Special clothing. That is option A, suitable equipment. So he said you don't just need a coat. I mean, you're going to Antarctica, so you need other stuff as well. Now C, option B was not even discussed. And option C, ensure that research is internationally relevant. It was not discussed like that, okay? So the right answer is option A. Please listen to it again.
So tell us, what is the main purpose of the centre?
Oh, well, we have two complementary roles. One is as a scientific base for expeditions and research, and the other is as an information centre.
Tell us something about the role as a scientific base.
Now, this is the role they're going to talk about. Tell us something about the role as a scientific base.
Well, we're able to provide information about what scientists should take with them to the...
What scientists should take with them. What they should take with them means equipment. कि अपने साथ क्या-क्या लेके जाने. Scientists, most definitely they need equipment. What scientists should take with them?
South Pole. For example, The centre contains a clothing warehouse where expeditions are supplied with suitable clothing for the
Expeditions are supplied with suitable clothing. They have a warehouse. So the right answer is option A, suitable equipment. Now please come to question number 23. Smile, huh? Section 1, Section 2, halwa. Section 3, jalwa. Yeah, now you see jalwa. Okay? Question number 23. Purpose of visitor center is to underline purpose. Visitor center. Now let's see what is their purpose. Option A, provide accommodation. Accommodation means place to live, right? Option B, run training sessions. For training sessions, they might use the word seminars, workshops, talks, lectures, and all that. Option C, show people what Atlantic is like. Now let's see what do they say.
And what does the visitor centre offer?
Well, since very few people will ever experience the Antarctic firsthand, the Visitors Centre aims to recreate the atmosphere of Antarctica. There's a mock campsite where you can see inside an Antarctic tent and imagine yourself sleeping there. And the centre also acts as a showcase for the unique international cooperation which exists in Antarctica today.
All right, A. Anyone B? Anyone C? Okay, C is the right answer. And I tell you why, don't worry. I'm going to play the audio again, okay? Don't worry. Now, the order in which they spoke, that is C-A-B. Please write it down there. C-A-B. Okay? Now, let's listen to C. Show people what Antarctic is like. They said recreate the atmosphere of Antarctica. Recreate means to show what life in Antarctica is.
How old is Antarctica?
Let's see.
And what does the visitors centre offer?
Well, since very few people will ever experience the Antarctic firsthand, the Visitors Centre aims to recreate the atmosphere of Antarctica.
Visitor Center aims to recreate the atmosphere of Antarctica. That is, show people what Antarctica is like. So C is the right answer. Now please come to option A. And I tell you why it is wrong. Option A is provide accommodation. Let's see how do they talk about it.
There's a mock campsite where...
There is a mock campsite. Now it's not real accommodation. There's a mock campsite. कि ये camp ऐसा camp वहाँ पे लगता है. There's a mock campsite. Right? Once I wanted to buy an apartment, they had made a model apartment. Very beautiful, very nice ones. So they took us to the dining table and they gave us the tea over there so that they could trap us. But thank God we were not trapped, okay? So mock campsite. Now mock campsite does not mean provide accommodation. It's only mock one, okay? So A is the wrong answer. Now please come to option B and tell me, do they discuss anything about it or not?
You can see inside an Antarctic tent and imagine yourself sleeping there.
Imagine yourself sleeping there. It's not they provide accommodation. It means they just have a mock tent and you imagine yourself sleeping there.
Showcase for the unique international cooperation which exists in Antarctica today.
Anything about run training sessions? Not at all. Okay, so again I'm telling you, if you want to excel in multiple choice, at least one wrong answer should be crossed. At least one. Then chances are 50-50. Then tukkas will help. But if you don't even understand, then it will not work for you. Now please come to question number 24. Dr. Merriweather says that Antarctica is dash. Dr. Merriweather says that Antarctica is dash. Now what is Antarctica? Unlike any other country. Unlike means it's not like other countries. For unlike, they can use the word it's not like. Option B, extremely beautiful. For extremely beautiful, they might use the word awesome. Right? Or, yeah, awesome beauty. In Antarctic, we've got awesome beauty. Option C, too cold for tourists. Too cold means very, very cold for tourists. Means tourists should not go there. It is very cold for them. So, Dr. Merriweather says Antarctica is. Now let's listen.
What is it actually like at the South Pole? I know you've been there on a number of occasions.
Yes, I have. And each time I'm struck by the awesome beauty of the place. It's magnificent, but you can really only visit it in the summer months.
October to March.
Yes, because it's completely dark for 4 months of the year.
So, B, absolutely. And then they said cold. They mentioned it's cold, but actually they said during those months it's completely dark. Means no sunshine, no sun. So option C, some of you must be thinking about option C. It's not the right answer. Option C is too cold for tourists. They said it is too dark. Too dark means all darkness there during that time. Please listen again. The order in which they played the audio, that is B, C, A. Write it down. B, C, A. A is not even mentioned, but anyways, B, C. Let's see.
What is it actually like at the South Pole? I know you've been there on a number of occasions.
Yes, I have. And each time I'm struck by the awesome beauty of the place.
Each time I'm struck by the awesome beauty of the place. Means extremely beautiful.
It's magnificent.
It's magnificent. Magnificent also means extremely beautiful.
But you can really only visit it in the summer months.
You can only visit it in the summer months.
October to March.
Yes, because it's completely dark for 4 months of the year.
It's completely dark for the 4 months of the year. So not too cold, it's actually dark. Answer is B. Question number 25. According to Dr. Merriweather, Antarctica is very cold because. Reason for being cold. Antarctica is very cold because A. Shape of the continent. So main thing is shape. For shape, they can say it is round or it is circular or anything like that. Option B, it is surrounded by a frozen sea. Surrounded by frozen sea. For that, they can say all 4 sides there is frozen sea. Or there is a frozen sea all the other sides. Or it is encased with frozen sea. Next. It is an extremely dry continent, extremely dry. Option A, shape. Option B, surrounded by frozen sea. Option C, extremely dry. Now what's the reason? Why is it so cold?
And in addition, it has to be the coldest place on Earth.
Colder than the North Pole? Why is that?
Well, unlike the North Pole, which is actually a frozen sea, Antarctica is a landmass shaped like a dome, with the result that the winds blow down the slopes at speeds of up to 150 kilometres an hour. And that's what makes it so cold. And one other interesting thing is that Antarctica is the driest continent on Earth, surprisingly. And so you have to drink large amounts of water when you're there.
Yeah. See, listen, now, it is the driest one, but that is not the reason for being cold. Absolutely. Okay, you need to focus. They spoke about it very clearly. That was a trap and you were from inside. Canada, here I come. Okay. Not like this. The trap answers are like this. Now listen. See, it is an extremely dry continent. What is the question? Come back to question number 25. According to Dr. Merriweather, Antarctica is very cold because. What is the reason for being cold? It is not very cold because it is dry. No, they only said it is dry, but they did not link it with being cold. Okay? Now, I'm going to play it again.
And in addition, it has to be the coldest place.
Sorry, the order in which they spoke, that is B-A-C. Write it down there. B-A-C. So, let's go on.
And in addition, it has to be the coldest place on Earth.
Colder than the North Pole? Why is that?
Well, unlike the North Pole, which is actually a frozen sea, Antarctica is a landmass shaped like a dome.
Shaped like a dome. Antarctica is shaped like a dome. Now let's see.
With the result that the winds blow down the slopes at speeds of up to 150 kilometres an hour. And that's what makes it so cold.
That's what makes it so cold. Shaped like a dome, winds 100 kilometers per hour. That's what makes it so cold. So option A, absolutely, not B. Surrounded by frozen sea. They did not mention reason for being cold. Now they talk about C.
One other interesting thing is that Antarctica is the driest continent on Earth, surprisingly. And so you have to drink large amounts of water when you're there.
Any link with cold? No. Driest is something separate. Okay, let's go on. Question number 26. Dr. Merriweather thinks Antarctica was part of another continent because, now he thinks Antarctica was part of another continent. Another continent means Asia, Europe, North America, South America, Australia, Africa. So he thinks it was the part of another continent because, reason. Option A, he has done his own research in the area. So done research in area. Done research in area. Option B, there is geological evidence of this. Geological evidence. Okay, now listen. For geology or geological evidence, they might use the word like rocks, clay, mud, stones, pebbles, mountains, anything like that. So that is what we call geology and geological. The study of earth is called geology. So geological evidence, for geological evidence, they might use the word rocks, fossil even. Fossil is something they find there, okay? Option C, it is very close to South America. So question is, Merriweather thinks Antarctica was part of another continent because, and then the reason.
How old is Antarctica?
Oh, we're pretty sure it was part of a larger landmass, but it broke away from the rest of the continent 170 million years ago.
How can you be certain of this?
Because fossils and rocks have been discovered in Antarctica, which are the same as those found in places such as Africa and Australia.
Amazing. To think
Fossils and rocks have been discovered in Antarctica, which are same like found in Africa and Australia. So answer is B, there is geological evidence. What is geological evidence? Fossil and rocks have been discovered. Rocks are geology. Okay,